if you're trying to accomplish that trunk paint or splatter paint look from the 60s and 70s, there's some options out there for you straight out of the can, but we kind of made our own concoction by combining a bunch of those options. And it's been on this car for 5 years, and it's been extremely durable. And the nice thing about this way of doing it is you can control the color quite a bit more than what you'll get out of a traditional can, because we do a base coat, then the splatter, and then clear. So if you want red underneath, put red. If you want blue, green, yellow, brown, black, doesn't matter. So we're going to show you how to do that. So this is our 70 Mustang fastback build that we did over a 2.5 year period here at the house. Started it pre-COVID, then COVID hit and gave us a lot more time, obviously, and we were able to get it finished up in early 2020. And it's completely custom. There's a whole build video on this thing, so I won't get into all the stuff. But what I want to talk about is, of this entire build, the most commonly commented feature of this thing is this speckled paint, this splatter paint that we used. You know, this was really common back in the 60s and 70s. Production vehicles had them in the trunk. The Trans Am race car series, you saw this stuff under the hood, and that's kind of the look we were going for. But as I started researching it, I would talk to my paint supplier, and he's like, yeah, there's nothing good out there anymore. The stuff that they use now doesn't hold up well. If it gets wet, it can just kind of fall apart. And obviously I wanted something durable. So over a weekend, I got creative and hit some big box stores and bought some different paints. And lo and behold, came up with a concoction that we use throughout the whole car. I mean, this thing's obviously here in the engine compartment. It's throughout the interior, on the floors, on the ceiling, on the roll cage, and then it goes back all the way through the trunk. And we're 5 years into it now, and over 3,000 miles since we built this car, and it's held up exceptionally well. So this video is going to walk you through the steps that we used to make this stuff. And it's all stuff you can buy right at a big box. Again, we didn't make it. It's just the components that we used to put it together and get the look that we wanted and have it hold up really well. So we'll cover all that stuff right now. Here, I'm going to use, of course, Rust-Oleum, because again, it's a fish oil thing. Rust-Oleum paints are fish oil based, and they don't always play well with other brands of paints because they're not, the other brands might not be fish oil, and then you'll get some weird stuff going on. And that's all science, and I don't get it all, but I just know if you're using Rust-Oleum primer, use Rust-Oleum paint, et cetera, et cetera. So since the spackle part that I like is actually Rust-Oleum product, I will only use Rust-Oleum. So I'm just going to take red metal primer. I'm going to paint a piece of cardboard. Yes, I know it's cardboard. And we're just going to use this as a sample here, just to get a base. Here we go. All right, we'll let that dry up, and then I'll tape it off, and we'll do 4 different color samples so you can see what the differences look like in between when you do 4 different colors. Go gloss black. This is flat black. Oops. Flat black that has not been shaken up well. There we go. Lastly, flat white. I feel like one of those street artists, of which I suck, but I think this will do what I want it to do. Red is gone. And one more hit of gloss. All right, I'm gonna let this dry up. Gloss black, flat black, duplicolor red, flat white. All right, so everything's dried up. I've got gloss, flat, some red, and some flat white. And the stuff that gives me the splatter look is Rust-Oleum American Accents Stone. And it's a textured finish. This particular one is gray. That's the stone color. And they say it's fast drying. Don't let that fool you. It is not. I've learned that you really want to shake it up really well And when you think you have it shaken, when you think you've shaken it enough, shake it some more. It comes out chunky and thick as you would expect. And I just hit a little bit right there, and you can see the problem with this stuff is if you get in too close with it, it gets really runny and nasty. So I'm going to say stay back quite a bit further than what it even tells you. And that's about all I'm going to put on as a first coat, because it takes a long time for it to dry, and I don't want to put it on so thick that it gets chunky and nasty. So this will allow just a light first coat like you saw. Literally, it'll probably have to dry overnight. This is a process on this. You have to be patient. But you can already start to see the color variations with that gray. And as you get 2 or 3 coats, a lot of this red will disappear, but it'll still be hints of it. So it's totally your preference, your aesthetic that you're looking for. I know that when we did it, we went flat black in probably 3-4 coats of the stone over it. And that's the look that we got on the Mustang that we were so happy with. But if you want it lighter, you can do the white. If you want, if your car's red and you want some red hints, you can do that. It's really a cool process when you make it kind of a multi-paint, if you will. Instead of just spraying this stuff down, you spray down a base of black or flat black or gloss black or red or blue or whatever, it doesn't matter, and get some other accenting going on. So we'll be back after it dries. So it's the next day, and everything is completely dry, and you can see just after one coat, the gloss, you can see a little bit of gloss behind it. The flat, obviously not as glossy, still see the red, still see the white. So again, just depending on what your tastes are and what you're looking to achieve, you might be happy with this just the way it is with one coat. For me, I wanted it heavier. And one of the things I love about this media is if an area gets scratched up, of which the only area I've had an issue with is just where my feet are, and I'd hardly call it an issue, but you can very easily just go right over the top of it with this with this stone paint again, and thicken it up, and then hit it with the clear. So I'm going to give it its second coat here. Just testing it out right there first. And that's going to be it. And then we'll let that dry up for several hours. All right, so the second coat is dry. What I'll do is I'll hit it with some of this dead flat clear. The good thing is it doesn't take hours for this to dry. It's Rust-Oleum, Universal Advanced Formula Clear Durable Top Coat, and then down there by my thumb, dead flat. I didn't want shine. I wanted it just to be dead flat, but I wanted to protect it, especially in the areas where I knew my feet were going to be and whatnot. So just going to let that sit out here and dry up, and then I'll hit it with one more coat, and that'll be good enough for what we're trying to accomplish here. So here's the test sample, all done, dried, ready to go. If we hold it up against the car, you can see it's quite accurate to what we have on the car. But you can also look over here and you can see the hint of red, and you can see the hint of white where we had that undercoating, or that underlayment, if you will. So really whatever you want to do, it's at your discretion. Make it yours. I think if I were doing red, I would probably do another coat of the splatter to calm it down a little bit, but that may not be your style. You may want it a little bit more bold with the red. So do it. Who cares? The worst thing that happens is you just got to put another coat over the top of it. So give it a shot. It works really well, and it's pretty easy to do once you know the tricks. Enjoy.